Partly cloudy tonight with the low down to 63. Slight chance of thunderstorms tomorrow morning, then becoming hot and windy as we'll top out near 92. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, maybe I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. Happy Tuesday.
If only.
This is the happy hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick and Rico with you.
If only you
As
guys
usual.
could hear what's going on during the breaks at this station.
I'm not going to out VJ like this. I'm not going to do it to him because I wouldn't want him to out me if it was role reversal here.
There's a lot of yelling going
A
on.
lot of yelling. VJ's not happy with me. 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line, both those open for you guys the entire show today. Always hit us up on the video stream, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, and now Twitter. And that's kind of I shouldn't say and now Twitter. It's kind of been a thing for
Like a week.
a substantial amount of time. So
Is a week substantial?
it is.
Twitter.
There's a lot of things we got to get to.
A decent amount.
Number one being Dylan Raiola commits to Ohio State last night. So the pipe dream of Dylan Raiola coming to Nebraska is dead.
Officially.
It's been cut off.
Bury it.
You've woken up from the dream.
But don't bury it too deep because he still has 2 years of high school left.
yes,
Maybe a year and a half.
yes.
So don't bury it too deep. Or just
I'm-
make sure that the soil stays loose.
I'm gonna bury it pretty deep.
You can dig it back up, get yourself a necromancer, bring it back to life.
A what?
A necromancer.
Is that a gardening tool?
No, that's not a gardening tool.
What is it?
That's like a wizard that deals with like dead people.
Okay.
They can
What's it from?
they can bring the dead back to life.
What's it from?
A lot of things. A lot of TV shows, video games.
All right.
The people know what I'm talking about.
The people know.
The people know.
Speaking
Nick
of-
doesn't know, but the people know.
Speaking of, Eric says this. Nick and Rico, let's get this week started on the right foot. Let's have a great week.
Well, that's awkward.
Shout out Eric.
That's awkward because we started off with Dylan Raiola commits to Ohio State.
And don't forget, Dylan Raiola's comment was Ohio State, the best damn fans in the land.
That is a thing he said before he went on his visit to Ohio State.
Drumstick says this, tell VJ to quit cutting into your hour. He gets 3 hours. The dude's tripping. Oh, VJ said he is listening. So we do know he's listening in the car.
What's up, Rashawn? Have a safe drive back.
And Dylan Raiola commits to Ohio State. So we'll dive into that. What does that mean for Nebraska? How shocking is it? We'll briefly discuss that. There's a couple other things. Trev Alberts likes Dorothy Lynch.
Yes, he does.
I have a picture on Twitter that I'm pretty proud of my screenshot ability.
It was a really good screenshot.
It was clear. It was clean. Here he is. Here he is.
He didn't get very far, did he?
Welcome back. Welcome back.
He didn't get very far.
He skirted real quick. He skirted-
Drumstick. Listen, drumstick. Don't be talking crazy. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I went too far. I turned right back around as soon as I heard it. Yeah. Drumstick said VJ gets 3 hours. He tripping. I was like, you know what? I'm coming back and I'm bombing him right now.
All right. So
I'm not bad.
Rashawn,
What?
how do we feel about Dylan Raiola committing to Ohio
I don't
State?
want it. I'm out of here.
No.
Come
Don't
on.
go. Don't go.
Give us
Let's
a
hear it.
snippet of what you're going to talk about tomorrow about it. A snippet.
First of all, when did you find out?
You just told me.
Give us a snippet of what
Some
you're
of
going
us
to say.
got to
tomorrow.
work for a living, okay?
This
my
ain't all
career.
weird.
I know. Not. I remember I'm 47, so
Yeah,
my
you're
career
old.
was a long
CTE
time.
bags.
Exactly. So this is me moonlighting. I'm just moonlighting right now.
Moonlighting is a media
But
member.
when you told me that, it broke my heart.
That Dylan Raiola is at Ohio
Are you
State.
kidding me right now?
I know.
No, sir.
How do you lose a guy whose dad starred and his uncle
But
works?
by losing 9 games last year.
That's not what he said. I don't
Well,
believe
it's
that.
not. It's not.
Yeah, it's a little
But-
bit deeper than that.
Well,
Ooh,
so
so there you go.
I mean, the place that he committed to has a track record of putting quarterbacks in the NFL. Nebraska currently, with their current track record of quarterbacks
Tanner
and
Lee, baby.
next levelness, not great,
Tanner Lee.
not great. And also, Ohio State has a track record of currently being in the college football playoff, making it to national championships, while
We didn't do
Nebraska,
enough.
is not doing that.
So okay, if we didn't do enough as Nebraska at Nebraska, why?
Thomas and Lincoln says, I also agree with John Stick. VJ can't even eat all the wings.
You can't.
See, now they're going off on me now.
You're darn
Because
right.
the
Rightfully
text-
so.
Hey,
Welcome to the happy
rightfully
hour,
so.
VJ.
the text line is coming after me now.
Welcome to the
huh?
happy hour.
Rightfully so.
Let me get the heck out of here. You can't run me off. I ain't scared of y'all. Bring it. Come on, text line. Sauter Heyman text line is open. 402-464-5685. It's the VJ takeover.
Hey,
I'm
V-
taking
Rashawn.
over the happy hour.
So,
you could
so
try.
Rashawn, we have this thing.
Done.
We have this thing that we have to be out at a certain time on the segment. You would never be able to get it because you're always late. The man made me play the out music 3 times. 3 times. And then he says in the microphone on the air, "No, Nick, don't do it." What am I going to do? Just cut Tomich off? No way.
Hey,
I'm interested in what he's saying.
hey, Nick,
Cut Rashawn's mic. See ya.
got him. Man, I've always wanted to do that.
What a relief.
We'll bring it back for a
It's
second.
like the, oh, what a relief it is.
You know what? The difference between me and Rico and me and Nick is I ain't
Age.
bringing you back when I cut you.
Age.
You're cut. When you're cut, you're cut. We ain't bringing you back. Eric said I got your back.
it's just because I'm a good person.
Man, you know what?
Hey,
Thanks,
don't
Phil
worry.
the Burn. I'm out here. Even Mark said cut the mic on me.
Rightfully so.
Happy birthday, Mark.
Hey, happy birthday, Mark. By the way,
There you go. That's Mark's birthday present right there.
All right, well,
Okay,
By the way,
there
what?
you go.
all right, by the way, real spit. I really want to dig into this.
Yeah.
How we lost. Could be the biggest recruit in the history of Nebraska football in a long time.
Ooh.
You did. You didn't just, and it's not like you lost him in the recruiting process of it. This is a 2020 what kid?
4.
Thank you.
2 years. Well, 1.5. He
Well,
could go early.
You lost him a year and a half early.
Mhm.
You didn't even go into the year. The neck hit. I'm disgusted, guys. Thanks a lot.
Well,
Thanks, Nick. You didn't have to tell me. You could have just let me find out. Let me walk out of here, and then later on, I would have been listening to y'all show, and I would have heard it.
You would have been. You would have been more mad.
yeah,
No.
you would've-
If
you,
you
you
were
probably
on-
would have drove
If
into a
you were
ditch.
on your way, if you were on your way to Omaha on the interstate and you were
Going
that
95,
Dylan
just off to the side of the road.
you actually definitely drive fast.
Yeah,
and you
especially
heard
that little tiny car.
that-
Hey, did you have
It
something
looks like a
about-
Hot Wheel out there.
Last week you said
does.
something about this whole thing. Last week I thought you
About
about the Riola deal, about
yeah.
him saying something about Ohio State versus Nebraska and the coaches. What was that? Do you remember?
So that specific thing that we talked about last week was Wandale Robinson. And that how he felt like he wouldn't be a second round draft pick if he stayed in Nebraska, which we
No,
agreed with.
No.
But Dylan Raiola
That's
says
not- no,
Dylan Raiola says that Ohio State has the best damn fans in the land.
I know, but remember before when Dylan went on his recruiting trip in the first place.
Oh,
Remember that?
I do know.
Okay, now you know what I'm talking
that
about.
can't be coming to air though.
That is an off air. That is
That
off
is
air.
I cannot. We
Yeah.
cannot. We
That's
cannot
that's
discuss
the
that
thing
off
we
air.
were told off the air.
in confidence.
Okay, well, I'm out of here. I'm off the air because I don't know what off the air means. Off
Yeah.
the air means I'm out of here.
If you want,
I'm
if you
just
want
a
to
little-
spill, if you want to spill those secrets tomorrow,
I don't know what secret
that's
stuff
all
are.
on
You go-
you.
Hey, when we get off the air, let me know what it is off the air that
Yeah.
we can't talk about on the air.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Do that.
but I'm just simply saying, you know,
Yeah,
I don't know
that's-
if it's a slap in the face, but it looks like a slap in the face.
No.
when you have
Well, and that stuff with Ohio State as a visits and things, it's definitely concerning.
I mean,
When looking specifically at Nebraska, we can't control anything that Ohio State or Texas or Alabama is doing, but we can control what Nebraska is doing. Or
he was
or the
here
people
though.
in charge.
He was here.
Yeah.
He was on campus. He was being courted by us.
Mhm.
What happened?
He went to Ohio State the next week.
I know, but
Yeah.
you mean to tell me that he went to Ohio State and whatever happened at Ohio State on his on that trip was enough for him to not only commit, but to be like, Nebraska, who? You said my uncle Riola. I don't even have an uncle Donovan Riola. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and so we've also heard, like, with recruiting stories, how guys will be like, have a timeline that they have to commit by, right? Because programs need to know whether or not they should move on to other guys. And so they'll be like, hey, you have until this day to commit. There's a period here that will allow you to commit to the school or whatever. However, that's not the case here, because Ohio State's not going to go to a guy that's in their 2024 class and tell them, hey, you need to commit to, if you want to come play here, you're going to need to commit this weekend.
I mean, not unless they were looking at, 3 other quarterbacks in the top 10.
Bruh.
But I see, like, there's no reason that,
because the rumors are that USC wasn't looking at another quarterback until Dylan Raiola made his decision.
Bruh.
That's the rumors, at least. USC wasn't looking at another 2024 quarterback until he made his decision. They were trying to court him. They were trying to get him to USC, and they were waiting to talk to anybody else.
Bruh. Dylan Raiola will be a millionaire before he steps
absolutely
foot on Ohio State's campus.
We thought Quinn Ewers a couple years ago when he went to Ohio State was going to be the first, freshman to be 6 figures or whatever. No, Dylan Raiola is going to blow that out of the water.
Absolutely.
Especially if Jordan Addison is $3 million.
Dylan
Raiola is close to 2.
He's going to start getting paid right now. And to me, if you are going to be a part, if you're going to recruit it at this level from every school in the country, your best bet is to commit early so that you can start working, because you can get paid right now. So it's not a knock on him. It's a really shout out to his talent. I just hate the fact that we lost a potentially a game breaker. He got the game breaker.
A program
He got the
changer.
game breaker thing. No, that's on my show. My bad. But yeah, program changer.
It's the rap air horn right there at the bottom right.
Yeah. Game breaker. He's a game breaker.
Yeah.
You can't lose game breakers and guys who have now. He can shoot. Who knows what can happen in 2 years? But I would imagine that if we already offered him a scholarship, we would want him to come to us first. So I don't know. I'm just curious to know if you know Bipolar as to why.
Like I said, you still have 1.5, 2 years to possibly sway his decision. I mean, kids commit and decommit all the time. I'm not saying he's one of those, but 1.5, 2 years is a long time.
Here's what Bipolar said. In 402-464-5685, we got about 6 minutes left in the segment before we have to get out because we have EAS today on a Tuesday. Bipolar says this: you could look at it as his dad committed to Nebraska at a time when we were competing for natties. And that was probably a goal he wanted to accomplish. Ohio State is that school to Dylan.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we get this one. He was never coming to Nebraska. Even if we match the money, that caliber of player is not going to a losing program.
Somebody at some point, see, that's the mentality that I don't like, because somebody at some point, and we either got to recruit this and we got to say this to the recruits, be the change setter. The change setter.
Honest question here. How many times do we feel like they've probably used that? Because they have to.
I don't know if we have. How?
But that's what I'm saying.
Who?
You've gotten the number 1 JUCO prospect last 3 years.
3 years in a row.
Greg Bell, Omar Manning, and now Anthony Grant.
Greg Bell did what?
He flamed out.
Thank you.
But that's not.
We have yet to see Omar Manning go absolutely ape.
But that doesn't mean that you're not using that
and
pitch.
We have yet.
That's my point. That doesn't mean that you're not using that pitch.
Those are JUCO guys. How come we can't get those same high level high schoolers coming out?
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, it would be shocking to me if Scott Frost or whoever, Mike Dawson, didn't go to O'Shawn Mathis and say, hey, yeah, think about it. You can be the guy that changes this defense and takes it to the next level.
Right. O'Shawn Mathis is going to be here how many years? Two.
Maybe.
Unless he goes pro after
one and done.
That's my point.
But on this
defense,
defense, he could very easily come in, have a big year, and be like, I'm out real quick. What does that do to us?
Not have any. The thing is, you hope that somebody that comes in has 2 years And if they use 1 year and make it to the NFL, you hope that success that they had
Bingo.
leads to more wins and leads to more success for the rest of the team.
And
Because if
also-
you're getting people who are getting drafted in the NFL, that means that they're putting up good numbers. They're looking really good to NFL scouts. So you're hoping that success bleeds over to the rest of the people within your program, and that leads to team success, which then leads to wins.
It's that, but then it also spills over into following seasons because that guy that goes to the NFL talks about how Nebraska prepared him to be a second-round pick. Wan'Dale Robinson is not talking about how Nebraska prepared him to be a second-round pick. He's talking about how Kentucky got him to the league.
I mean, rightfully so.
Exactly. So that's
And if
where
you get those
that's
guys from
bananas.
Nebraska,
So if you get those guys even in junior college, you're hoping that bleeds. It's just trying the
Not
junior.
really. Give me Wan'Dale Robinson, and we figure out a way to keep Rondell Robinson. That's the key. You got to
you
figure out
figure
a
out-
way
you
to
figure- no,
keep
but
the
it's-
guys that we keep losing.
Yes.
We got to keep them in the nest. We can't let them go to another nest and let another eagle raise them up.
But the same exact head coach figured out a way to lose Wan'Dale Robinson.
Okay,
Literally,
Yeah.
Wan'Dale loved Nebraska.
he did. He still does.
He still does.
He still does. He really.
He
does.
absolutely does. He loved Nebraska. He did not want to leave Nebraska.
he was a silent commit to Nebraska, and then when he committed to Kentucky, it was a surprise to everybody. He decommits 2 weeks later and
It
then
was- it was
commits to Nebraska.
Big pressure cooker to stay home for him. Big pressure cooker to stay
Well,
home.
I mean, he was able to go back, and I think that was
Yeah,
that was
it
huge
was
on
great.
him.
It was perfect. I'm super
worked out great.
thrilled for him. Thrilled. But literally, if you look back at that, Nebraska found a way to lose Wan'Dale Robinson.
He was the one on.
Besides
This is
Nelson,
bad. He was the one
That's a
on the
good point.
stage for the new facilities they're
Yeah,
building. They
not
brought
Adrian.
him saying, by your senior year,
Yeah.
this will be done. You will be able to use this. He was the face of the program.
well, that
his
wouldn't have been
freshman
true
year.
though. That wouldn't have been true.
Well,
because-
yes,
because it's
but if
not
you're-
built
you're
now.
But that
Chicago-
was before COVID. So it was supposed
Oh,
to be
okay,
they were
gotcha.
they were
Yeah.
collecting the money.
Yeah.
It was supposed to start, then COVID hit and the money and
Yeah.
all that stuff happened.
Sure,
But they were saying they were putting him out there as the face of the program
Yeah.
as a true freshman.
before, like when Adrian was your starting quarterback as a sophomore and all that. You chose Wan'Dale Robinson, and yet you still found a way to lose him. You found a way. You had to screw it up so bad for him to eventually leave Nebraska.
well, no, you didn't have to screw it up. You just had to keep on running him at running back. That's what you had to
Is
do.
that not screwing it up?
I guess so. If somebody comes to you and it's clear that hey, I don't want to get hurt, and you're only 5'2", that's like them telling you, Rico, yeah, we want you to play running back in the Big Ten.
Here's this.
I mean, I'll play running. I'm not running up the middle.
Here's the thing.
We
Here's
can go
here's the thing.
outside.
Yeah, you
So,
are.
so Jory just said this.
You want me to die?
Nebraska didn't find a way to lose Wan'Dale. Players nowadays love to find ways to quit and leave instead of grow the team. Running a dude that is 5'9" and is not the right size for Big Ten football at running back.
He's not a Big
running
10 5'9".
running him up the middle on 3rd and 1 repeatedly.
That's dumb.
That's not the right. That's not.
You've got a guy who can make people miss in space,
That's
and you're
dumb.
putting him in the
Yes.
least amount of space
Yes,
possible.
you're finding a way to take a playmaker, a game breaker that is on the edge. Thank you. Thank you. That has proven he may have been able to be a running back in high school. He was probably the Swiss Army knife at I want to say Western Hill. At his
Whatever high school he was at.
But
he
that's
did
not
everything.
the Big Ten. That's not the Big Ten.
That ain't the big
And
anything.
Nebraska had successful plays drawn up for him at wide receiver, and yet they still chose to run him up the middle on 3rd and 1.
You saw how good
literally-
he was in the slot.
Wan'Dale straight up was like, so through conversations, the time that Wan'Dale realized that he was not going to stay at Nebraska was that he was ran up the middle on 1st and goal, 2nd and goal, 3rd and goal from a couple yards away from the goal line against Iowa. And he goes, yo, this is, he got his bell rung on the 3rd time. And he walked back to the sideline. He goes, yeah, this isn't what I was supposed to do. This isn't what I came here to do. This isn't what I was promised. Not promised. This isn't how I was told I was going to be used. Yeah.
This is not a
That's
great
not that's not him quitting.
this is not a great utilization of my skills.
That is not on the player.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put that on him because if you go back the year before, same thing.
Yeah.
Year before,
We-
same thing. And listen,
We got to take a break.
Barry
We
Sanders
got to
was
take a
200
break.
pounds.
We got to take a break.
The following is a test of the emergency alert system.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
These days, there are more reasons than ever to treat yourself to a great haircut at Great Clips with the online check-in app. So tell us, why do you check in?
I check in because I'm tired of hat hair. I check in because we all need a cut.
I check in so I can feel like me.
And I check in so I look good for you.
No matter why you check in, you'll check out with a great haircut and save time with our online check-in app. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is under new management, but has the same great service as before. If your current garage door seems outdated or isn't working properly, call their new number at 402-480-2840 to schedule service or get a new door ordered. Steve's can repair most types of garage doors and can always point you in the right direction to get the job done. Give Steve's Garage Doors and Services a call today at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840.
Spring is here. Are you giving your yard the best chance at being healthy and green? Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn to get your sprinklers ready to go for the season if they haven't been working properly. They're also scheduling installs for new sprinkler systems if you don't have one. So make sure you contact them early to get a bid as soon as possible. Plus, they're your one place to go for 5-step fertilizer and pesticide application and lawn aeration. Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn today at 402-413-1215.
If your home water doesn't taste right, look right, or smell right, just call Bryant for the solution to your water problem. Call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsterats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
The Ticket Water Cooler with Jake Bakoven and Nathan Brennan.
Let's take it a step further. If Nebraska wins the division, that means they go to the Big Ten championship. They win the Big Ten championship, that means they go to the playoff. They go to the playoff, now we're cooking with gas. I don't agree with you. I don't know what to tell you. That's ridiculous.
Weekdays from 3 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, it's Nelson. We all know life gets a little hectic. You're just looking for that right amount of balance for stress relief with your busy lifestyle while trying to not break the bank. That's why you got to stop by the newest Caterpillar Vapes location right here in Lincoln, 2601 North 11th Street. The Caterpillar team is made up of people just like you, wanting the best product at the best price. They can walk you through the largest selection in town, answer any questions, and find you that perfect balance. First-time customers get 50% off their entire purchase. Stop in and see for yourself. For more, find them on Facebook or online at CaterpillarVapes.com.
Southeast Community College has learning centers in Falls City, Hebron, Nebraska City, Plattsmouth, Wahoo, and York so that you can take credit and non-credit classes at a center nearby without having to travel an hour or more to campus. By taking online classes and those at a learning center, you can earn your degree from SEC where and when it's convenient for you, all at a cost that won't stand in the way of your education. Learn more about SCC's learning centers at southeast.edu/learning centers. SCC, your path to possible.
It's time for today's STEM tip. Okay, you know recycling is important. No one wants plastic in the ocean. Here's a cool way to repurpose a plastic bottle. Build an awesome terrarium. Cut a large plastic bottle in half and fill the base with sand, pebbles, potting soil, and your favorite plant. I chose an African violet. Put the top of the bottle over your base and place it in the sun. Your plant will grow sealed in its own ecosystem. Fun, right? Learn more at She Can STEM. A message from the Ad Council.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Yo, it's the captain, Rashawn Jackson. Join me this Wednesday at Wingstop at 28th and Pine Lake Road from 11 to 2 for your Husker sports talk and, most importantly, wings. That's Wednesday at Wingstop at 28th and Pine Lake, the official sponsor of the captain. Order wings ahead at wingstop.com. See you there.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary, sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line, both of them open for you. Good conversation there. VJ has exited the building, but the energy stays alive. Yeah, a really good conversation there.
Shut up, Rashawn.
I just think, okay, Rashawn has not left the building.
He hasn't left. Oh, I thought he left.
Okay, he's not coming in. All right, so
maybe he is.
Come on in.
Dude. Oh,
that's not good.
I don't know.
Anyway, during the break, Nathan Brennan literally said that he would take Taj Boyd
as the Colts quarterback
on the Colts. Because we were talking, so Jory sent in a text, and Rico and I said that Ohio State puts quarterbacks in the league, which is a valid statement. They might not have success, but then we were thinking, all right, what schools would, if you're an NFL exec, what schools do you go to for a quarterback pipeline? Like, think about it. Nobody's going to Pitt every year and being like, oh, let's draft Kenny Pickett. There's always that one from Liberty or Desmond Ridder from Cincinnati, or you have, like, you're not drafting a USC quarterback because
Carson Wentz from North Dakota State for a season.
Because guess what? Like, Sam Bradford's not going to just grow on trees, and you don't want Sam Bradford to grow on trees.
Andrew Luck at Stanford, RG3 at Baylor. Like, it's not like I don't know what the QBU is, what school has produced the most successful quarterbacks in the NFL, but I can tell you that Ohio State produces quarterbacks who get drafted in the first, second, third round in the NFL.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter if they flame out after they make it. The fact is they're putting them in the NFL, and you can say that to kids like, hey, remember JT Barrett, who had a fantastic career at Ohio State, I think he was drafted in the first round in the NFL.
No way. No, I thought JT Barrett was drafted in the first?
Maybe he wasn't. He probably wasn't. I think, didn't he end up being a wide receiver at some point? JT Barrett, Braxton Miller ended up being a wide receiver.
Miller ended up being a wide receiver. He's still in the league.
Yeah.
But he changed from
quarterback to get quarterbacks drafted. It doesn't matter what they do after they get drafted, because Ohio State can say, look, you come here as a quarterback, you're going to get drafted.
Yeah,
it's up to you after that. Ohio State's done the work. Ohio State's put you in the league. You're getting your millions. Now you have to make sure that you don't suck.
Jory adds this: running back room was hurt and was the only reason Wan'Dale was taking some snaps at running back. This past season, he would have danced all over the field at wide receiver, with Toure and others providing protection for him.
The running back room wasn't that injured. You had running backs. You just didn't want to play them because you believed that Wan'Dale was your best option at running back in the Big Ten. He's a good option at running back. The problem is he's not a good option at running back if you want to run power I. If you want to run power football, you're not going to have a 5'9", 180-pound wide receiver / running back running up the middle. You want to give him the ball on the outside, give him some space to work? Sure, you can use him at running back. But if it's goal line, do not hand him the ball. Have him come out of the backfield, toss it to him. What are you doing?
So a couple of the running backs that you had in the room in just 2019. Once again, Wan'Dale Robinson listed as a wide receiver. And I'm not saying, like, what Rico and I aren't saying is that you don't put him at running back in any situation. Because if you want to go back to the whole mantra that this team or this coaching staff used was the whole duck R position, the way they used DeAnthony Thomas at Oregon back in the day, then you can line him up at running back in certain situations. but not on first and second and third and goal, all in back-to-back plays. That's not what he's used. That's not why he was brought here. That's not why he was told he was going to be brought here. And at the end of the first season, that's not how they told him they were going to use him the following season.
Wan'Dale Robinson, and I mean no disrespect to him at all, has no business running a power eye direct, into the middle of an offensive defensive line in the Big Ten. It's unnecessary. It's not going to work. And especially with the kind of blocking you were offering.
And in 2019, I would feel more confident running Dedrick Mills up the middle on 3rd and 1, or even Ramir Johnson up the middle on 3rd and 1 than I would our star player and face of the program. That is not built for running up the middle. So with the argument that the running back room, he was our best option at running back room, I would disagree. I would think Dedrick Mills, as a consistent and viable option, Dedrick Mills may be the best option at running back.
Mm-hmm.
There were situations where you can't sit here in 2022, look at the statistics from his time at Kentucky, where they used him the way he was supposed to be used here at Nebraska, and say, yep, he should have been used at running back. Or because the stats don't lie. Rashawn says it all the time. The numbers do not lie. And if you want something tangible you want to look at something tangible that you can point to and see why results happened or unfolded the way they did, that's a big part of it. Why did Wan'Dale decide to move on? It wasn't because he quit or hated Nebraska or was mad at the coaching staff. It was that he wanted to get to the league, and running up the middle on 3rd and 1 is not using his talents to the best or in the best way that's going to get him to the league eventually. He was the leading wide receiver in the SEC. You're telling me he can't do that in the Big Ten Conference? Get out of here. Kentucky, during the break, Bach was like, Nate's mad that you guys are still talking about Wan'Dale because he left. This isn't a conversation necessarily about Wan'Dale Robinson. This is more of a conversation of how bad did this coaching staff screw it up to take a kid from Frankfort, Kentucky, away from his home school because he loved Nebraska, put him at the face of your program, told him you were going to change the way you approach the day-to-day operations of using him in your offense, and still did not go through with that, which ultimately, for his best interest in mind for his football career, was to move on. This is not a conversation of Wan'Dale Robinson. It makes it easier because there is tangible thing. There are things that we can point to, aka the stats sheet, and say why it didn't work and why he is now a 2nd-round pick with the New York Giants and why he decided to move on from Nebraska. So it makes the argument easier. But this is not a conversation about Wan'Dale Robinson leaving Nebraska. This is a conversation of the coaching staff losing Wan'Dale Robinson.
This is a conversation on talent acquisition and keeping said talent within the confines of Memorial Stadium and within this football program, because you've seen it time and time again where you've got some talented guys who, again, at the times of their commitment, at the time of their signing, were committed or were considered to be big time commitments and considered to be, a really good recruiting job by the coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have over 50% of said recruits during this time leaving the program. I don't know the exact reasons why those players left. Some of them leave for family reasons. Some of those leave for more playing time. Some of those leave for, maybe in Wan'Dale's case, a better situation to get more playing time and make themselves, more attractive to the professional leagues. Like, I don't know why all of these players transferred, but I do know one thing is that they are coming here. They are considered really good players, and that's why they are being offered by a school by a blue blood like Nebraska, why they are committing. And for some reason, within 1 or 2 years, they are deciding that they no longer want to be here.
John says this on the text line at 402-464-5685. Honda Lincoln Hotline, the Starter Heyman text line. Both those continue to be open. Hit us up on Twitter, Nick_Sainert, and at Radio Rico AC as well. John says this: Nick, Rico, Wandale left, and Nebraska now has a new running backs coach. Are the two related? I think so. And John, I think you're onto something because we've seen running backs either not play consistently when they should play, just misuse, right? Mismanaged in the running back room specifically. So you might be onto something there. My problem was that in 2019 and 2020, there's still the common denominator of Scott Frost as your head coach. And the role of a head coach that's been brought up many time and time again is this CEO role.
There you go.
Whew, had an aneurysm. Okay. CEO role.
Letters are hard.
They are, especially in that order. No, but that's been the common denominator is Scott Frost as the head coach. And so if basically my 5,000 foot view of this, kind of zooming out, looking bigger picture, is at the end of the day, whatever Ryan Held thought was best for this program, it had to get cleared by Scott Frost. And Scott Frost was calling the plays. Scott Frost could have easily been like, we're not playing Wandale Robinson at running back, and we're not going to run him up the middle 3 times in a row against one of the most physical teams in the conference. But yet he didn't. He didn't pull him out because he was the one calling plays.
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
Was it?
No, it wasn't.
Every time that Wandale slowly got up,
it was scary.
Had to jog back to the sideline.
How many times did you, listeners, fans of Nebraska, how many times did you hold your breath when Wandale stayed down on the turf a little bit longer than normal?
It's once again, to reiterate, it's not a conversation on Wandale leaving or Wandale quitting. That could be a conversation for another time.
It's a conversation on mismanagement.
Yeah. And it's time and time again, mismanagement.
And it's not just at the running back position at the wide. It's everywhere.
And at the end of the day, if Nebraska was winning games and competing for just a Big Ten West title, maybe these wouldn't seem like such big problems. Maybe the numbers, and I could pull up the sheet again here. Maybe the numbers of all the guys that they've lost since they've arrived in 2018 wouldn't be such a glaring problem. And I can pull it up.
They probably don't lose
48 of their 83 players that they've brought in.
Well, they probably don't lose 48 if they're winning.
59% of their roster. Yeah, some of that, number one, yeah, Rico's got a good point. Some of that doesn't happen. The attrition doesn't happen if they're winning games.
Like, I'm sure there's still players leaving.
But it doesn't bother you as much.
No.
Because
if you're winning, if you've got 8, 9, 10 wins in a season and you have 2 players leave the program, it's like, okay, whatever. I wish you the best of success wherever you go, but we'll be fine. We're winning games. But it's the fact that they haven't had a winning season since Scott Frost has since the end of Mike Riley and Scott Frost's tenure. The fact that they haven't had a winning season just makes everything else going on within the program seem that much larger. Every little problem seems like a massive issue. That's the problem. If you're winning games, the transfer outs is fine because you're just like, we'll we have people backing you up that'll take that spot. Next man up mentality. We can go to the JUCO ranks, we can get somebody else, and it'll be fine because guess what? It's proven to have worked.
Cool and Luke says this, and we'll address this before we get to break because we get these texts quite often. Love how both of you continue to say you're not advocating for a coaching change, then proceed to have an entire show about how bad the coaching is. Are we supposed to sit here and say that the coaching's been great?
We cannot.
We can say we have said multiple times, whether it's been on Rico with one-on-one and / old school, or me with Vershawn, or even on the happy hour here. It's been, like they've made the changes necessary. But everybody on this text line, everybody listening, everybody in this station can agree it's time to show. We always say that we want things that we can point to show that this program is getting better. And we've addressed how they've addressed those problems basically by firing everybody on the offensive side, which they needed to do. And they've put Trev Alberts now in place, which that was the right choice. But once again, we go back to the things that we can point to and say, is this getting better over the course of 4 years? And Vershawn Jackson, a former player, a 3-time national champion, just made the whole comparison yesterday over the course of his 3-hour show, how things that were happening in 2018 were happening in 2021. We talk about Adrian Martinez and how there was no progress, and you could even argue there was regression. Like we're talking about the things that we can physically point to that have happened, because that's where all Husker fans are at, is in show me mode, prove it mode. We're tired of the lip service. And JP says this, it's been put up or shut up since last season. Glad they made the changes, but it's a season late, so we will go for this. We will go with this for now. Also, we always get comment or text, and this is not just directed at that texter. This is not just directed at this. But since we're addressing this kind of thought or conversation, we can add this into the pile. It's not fun covering a coaching change. It's not fun talking about a dude that's been fired.
It's not.
Especially when it's a former player, former quarterback, when
national champion.
We all back in 2018 wanted this thing to happen.
Oh yeah.
Like I have no problem admitting, like, yeah, they had to hire Scott Frost.
Oh, it's fantastic.
They had
at the time. There's no way this could have gone wrong. It was the perfect hire. It was you're taking him from any other program that wants. He was the hot young coach. That's what it was. He was the next up.
Yes.
He was
Florida,
the next guy. Every school that had a coaching vacancy was looking at Scott Frost to hire him as their head coach. That's what was being said, and Nebraska got him because he played. And that was the thing.
Bingo.
If he didn't play here, he wouldn't be here. That's what so many people said.
Well, don't forget, I think this forgets as well, there was a significant chance that he moves on to Florida in an area that his family loved. He moves on to Florida. However, Florida wasn't going to allow him to bring his whole staff from UCF. Nebraska was.
Rumors.
That's a big part. Camaraderie, right? Unnamed texter says this: kids leaving is a sign of the times. Wandale's usage was criminal, especially when the guy calling plays is labeled as an offensive guru. Had Spielman in the building, who was a proven playmaker, and just tossed him aside.
I don't know about that last part. I can't speak on that part. I don't know if they tossed him aside or if he decided to transfer to TCU. I don't know what happened in that whole conversation on why he decided to leave, but I know that they used him plenty those first 2 years, him and Stanley Morgan, and then him solo. They were attempting to get him the ball. It didn't work out.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Okay, so unnamed texter says this: true, yes. Oh, it's not updating. I can't see it. Okay, true, yes. Every other school wanted Scott Frost as their coach at the time, but what school would still have him employed with the results he's gotten? That kind of piggybacks into this. JP, I am still on board with hopes. I definitely don't want to start over again. And that can be a conversation for another time. I'm not really sure if Nebraska does have to go in a different direction. I'm not sure that the hire is going to be glamorous. Trev Alberts doesn't seem necessarily like that guy.
Doesn't seem like a splashy hire.
That's like, guy. I just need the right person in place. And I think Nebraska fans would be ready for that. They'd be ready for a guy that's not going to tell you everything that's going, how well everything's going.
Nebraska
it's
fans
just going to be like, not saying Matt Campbell's not splashy or flashy, but
that would be a massive hire.
Matt Campbell. I'm not saying they'd hire Matt Campbell. I'm saying somebody like him, where it's just, they just put their head down and they do work and they crank out wins. If we are having that conversation, I hope we don't. Regardless, despite everything Rico and I have said this 48 minutes of our show,
I don't want to have.
We don't want to have that conversation.
I don't want to cover a coaching change. I don't want to cover, every single day. I don't want to get on Flight Tracker and find out where flights are coming from and when they're coming to Lincoln and who we believe might be on them and the rumors of so-and-so is talking to so-and-so and this coordinator might be leaving here and this head coach is thinking about coming. I don't want to do that. I don't want that. I want this Scott Frost thing to work.
Well, because here's another thing also. Trev Alberts could come out of this looking like the smartest man alive. If football gets on the right track, everybody's going to be applauding Trev Alberts, as they should already, because of what he's had to endure through his first less than a year first 10 months into his job.
It's been a
that
rough
he,
almost
he,
year.
He didn't even know about things that he didn't even know about that were just waiting for him sitting on the doorstep when he came to Memorial Stadium. Like, everybody should be applauding him, number one. Number two, he could come out of this looking like the smartest man. Whether it works or we're going to be coming back and looking at this saying, you know what? We understand why Trev Alberts did it, but now it's time to move on. And he's going to understand that. Like, Trev's just not a flashy guy. He fits that Nebraska thing where it's you put your head down and you just get the job done. It's unbelievable. Now we're getting future. This is what I was worried about. We're getting future.
This is what I don't want.
We're getting future thoughts on who the next head coach could be. We have Skip Holtz and Lance Leipold so far. I like Leipold, but we need stuff at Kansas.
Hey, Skip Holtz, baby.
Yeah, USFL.
My Birmingham Stallions are the only undefeated team left. 4-0.
That's wild.
What's good?
All right, we're running a little bit late. 402-464-5685. Keep sending your thoughts. We'll wrap up Tuesday's show next. Like I said, Trev loves Dorothy Lynch. You can go over to my Twitter, Nick Sainert, Nick_Sainert, and see the picture there that I screenshotted from a Huskers video. Trev looks like a old man with his glasses over his nose and holding a bottle of Dorothy Lynch.
He's hand modeling it.
Tell me it gets more Nebraskan than that, because I don't think it does. We'll go ahead and talk about that coming up next on the Happy Hour.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is hosting their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney, Nebraska, February 2nd and 3rd. Landmark Sprayer Clinic offers expansive equipment and technology training on different models of John Deere and Hagie sprayers. Learn about the newest technology, machine maintenance, spray tip selection, and more. We'll be offering free dicamba certification. Join us February 2nd and 3rd in Kearney. RSVP by calling your local Landmark location or at landmarkimp.com/events.
Ashiro's work is never done. You care for the house, the kids, and our future. We're so grateful for all you do. Now it's time to care for yourself and save a little more for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to boost your retirement savings now. Visit aceyourretirement.org/Shiro today.
A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
If your home water doesn't taste right, look right, or smell right, just call Bryant for the solution to your water problem. Call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Old School with DP and J.
When you talked about NIL, you're talking about stupid money that these kids are getting. 99.9% of them aren't worth it, but I'm all for it, to take advantage of it. If they're giving it, might as well take it, but appreciate it. Don't go around, I call it playing Halloween. You put on a uniform, you put on the eye black, you put on the wristband, you wear, say, like Nebraska uniforms. You're dressing up as a football player. Just because you're dressing up as a football player does not make you entitled to anything.
93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
The Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council present the story of Cynthia and Ed.
My mother was always very active and independent, and she was familiar with her neighborhood. But one day, out of the blue, she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn or just stay at the stop sign. She wasn't even really sure where she was at. She was very concerned. It was very unsettling for her.
It's important for you to talk to someone about it, to bring the family in on it. I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Work, laundry, dishes. I was exhausted. I needed a vacation, but finding a way to pay for it, not so easy. Then I found it, a research study at Solarion. I searched the studies and found a perfect match for me. It was so easy. I earned cash for the study and booked that vacation. Plus, I made an impact on medical research. Find a study and sign up today at helpresearch.com.
You should consider the risks of the research before you agree to participate.
Spring is here. Are you giving your yard the best chance at being healthy and green? Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn to get your sprinklers ready to go for the season if they haven't been working properly. They're also scheduling installs for new sprinkler systems if you don't have one. So make sure you contact them early to get a bid as soon as possible. Plus, they're your one place to go for 5-step fertilizer and pesticide application and lawn aeration. Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn today at 402-413-1215.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street.
Now back to the happy hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, back here on the happy hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Shout out industry, baby.
Forever and always. I wish I could dance again. Actually, no, I can't dance. Hold on.
No, you can't. No. Head over to the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, Twitter as well. 402-464-5685. How do you feel, Rico?
I feel great. Nebraska softball is the number
That's
2
right.
seed in the Big Ten
Actually,
tournament.
right.
That's why.
That's right.
I could dance.
We'll talk Husker softball on Thursday. We'll also be joined on Thursday by Michael Dixon, the play-by-play voice of the Lincoln Salt Dogs. They open up their season on Friday, so he'll join us on Thursday at 2:30. All right, so we don't have much time since we went over that last segment here. This was tweeted out by Golf Digest earlier today, and it says this: a local golfer was forced to play in a U.S. Open golf qualifier as punishment for losing his fantasy football league.
Oh my goodness.
Rico, what do you think he shot?
What's like average? You gotta help me out here. Like what?
I would say
give me what
around par.
Do you have any other scores?
No, I do
No?
not. It just shows his. And it actually happened in Kansas City at Oakwood Country Club.
Like is 80 like around 80, 90 bad? Like are those bad?
So 90. No, I wouldn't say bad. Not for U.S. Open qualifying.
Yeah.
This guy shot 112. He shot a 112 plus 40. He shot 40 shots over par. And he had to play it and turn it in to the U.S. golf qualifier.
There were people there.
He shot 40 over.
Like people were watching you.
Not good. So I thought that was funny.
Ouch. I mean, I would probably do the same. So
we don't. My group for fantasy football, we don't make a bet like a punishment. I've heard a lot of punishments and stuff like that, but I have not. We do not do like punishments or anything like that, and I'm glad we don't because I would not want to play in a U.S. local or U.S. Open qualifier.
Yeah,
and
my
shoot
fantasy
40
football
over.
league thought about punishments and thought about like a trophy for the winner, and then we decided against it.
Yeah, so in my family one, we have a traveling trophy that we get our names engraved on the bottom. The winner does.
Can I
And
join your family?
I've played 5 years and I've won 3 of them.
Can
So
I
my
join
names
your
are on there. Are 3 on there already?
Family's fantasy football league.
Jeez. No, you cannot.
Why?
No, you cannot.
Why? How many people is it?
Actually, Rico, we might need an extra
Yeah.
person.
Throw me in there.
Join the Sainert family.
Yeah, please do.
Yep, go ahead. John says I shot a
co-hosts.
65 because I didn't play the last 5 holes. Yikes! My brother's fantasy group does tattoos of their choice to the loser. Way too extreme. I'm out on that. Your body's gonna. If the same dude loses over and over, your body's gonna be just ink.
Just covered in tattoos.
Unreal. All right, we're done for today. Water cooler is next. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. See ya.
Adios.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring